8. We are doing Big Trouble in Little China as we ride down on the Pork Chop Express Highway.
The brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life.
It's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, where we go over a little homework that we had. And the homework that we had this week.
It's been such a big requested movie. Like it's almost every week somebody mentioned us doing this movie.
I didn't know this was a Carpenter movie until it started.
I didn't know it was a Carpenter movie until I watched it. And when it says all music done by John Carpenter, I was like, yo, he really plays all the music and everything.
That's great.
If you wonder what we're talking about, we are talking about Big Trouble in Little China. Woo! This is one for the ages.
Things for people on this movie for years. I'd never seen it.
I hadn't watched it since the '80s, so
I thought it sit down fresh.
Yeah,
it was very fresh for me. And what I thought, now that I've watched it, this was like Kill Bill, except 20 years before Kill Bill was even made.
That's fair. It's kind of a romp. It was a fun movie.
It's a fun movie,
but it's fun. I guess I'll wait till we get to it in the plot.
Yeah, it's just wild. It's out there. Yeah.
I mean, Kurt Russell's being a little
over the top with his
acting.
Kurt Russell had to be convinced to do this because they were going to give it. They were going to give it to Jack Nicholson.
Really?
Yeah,
Jack Nicholson.
The two top contenders that they wanted was Clint Eastwood and Jack Nicholson, but they were both busy. The studio said, "Hey, Kurt Russell is up and coming. What about him?" Kurt Russell said, "I don't know. I think if you find a different way to approach Jack Nicholson, I think you'll have better luck there." He's like, "And I don't understand this character of Jack." And then he read the script and kept having conversations with Carpenter, and he's like, "You know what? I think I can stick my teeth into this character. I like what you're telling me. I like what you're telling me he's gonna be. I'm not the hero. I'm really flawed. I like that." He brought him into it.
I think if you have Jack Nicholson or Clint Eastwood, this is in tone. It's
wildly different movie. Completely.
It's not comedic at all if it's either of them.
Yeah. Angel says I have a movie on right now. All right, so this storyline is Jack Burton, a rational, wisecracking, long-distance trucker, is in for a big surprise when he decides to help his best friend Wang. Yes.
With the CB radio, broadcast it out to anyone who will listen.
Right.
He decides to help his best friend Wang free his kidnapped fiancée Mao Ying. But as Jack rushes headlong into the perilous criminal underworld of San Francisco's Chinatown, on the hot trail of centuries-old Chinese sorcerer David Lo Pan, the mystery of an ancient curse unfolds. Now, as Jack and his companions embark on a frenzied rescue mission in the heart of the sorcerer's dark labyrinth, Lo Pan's deadly minions, blood-curdling supernatural horrors, and a trio of unstoppable kung fu masters stand in the way of success. Can Jack save the girl from the magician's clutches and live to tell the tale?
This movie had all of the Chinese actors that you see in every movie where you have a Chinese character actor. They're all in it. Yeah. They're all in it.
And by the way, Dennis Dunn, who's in this movie, Carpenter cast him because he saw him in Year of the Dragon, right? Mm-hmm. It was almost Jackie Chan, but Jackie Chan said, "No, I've already done 2 American films. They were both disasters. I'm going to go focus on Chinese cinema. I'm going to go do Policeman over there." Which of course was a big hit for him. And then
Police Story.
Police Story, that's it. Right? So Police Story was huge for Jackie Chan. But Jackie Chan had done The Big Brawl and The Protector over here, and they were terrible. So he retreated.
I can see Jackie Chan being in this movie.
Oh yeah, of course. And then my favorite story is Kim Cattrall wanted this, right? And the studio didn't want her because she's known for raunchy comedies like Porky's and Police Academy. And Carpenter is like, "No, I want her." And she was ecstatic. She's like, "I love this script. I'm not a woman screaming for help in every scene. You know, the humor comes from my relationship with the Jack character. I'm the brains, he's the brawn. She's like, I wanted this movie so bad. And I'm like, oh, I love it.
Now, is she supposed to be Asian? Because isn't her name like something Law?
Gracie Law, yes.
Which I'm going, okay. And especially with the you know, towards the end when you find out that she also survived the flaming sword thing or whatever.
Yep.
Manny the Hobgoblin Collector, welcome, Manny. You guys are discussing Mannequin. I see Kim Cattrall. No,
we're not discussing Mannequin.
Big Trouble in
Oh,
Little
my
China.
goodness.
although I like Mannequin.
Mannequin's great.
Yeah, I do like that movie.
And one of the most positive portrayals of a queer supporting character for a movie that's so old. The movie's amazing. Freaking love Hollywood. We're doing Mannequin in the future.
There he is, the guy in that last scene. That's the leader of the
Yeah.
gang. Is another one of those guys that you see. That has the he's the guy that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that Indiana Jones shoots in
The Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Remember he does the thing with the sword and then just shoots him? I think it's that guy. This guy right here.
Angel said, did you guys know about the Big Trouble in Little China comic book from Boom?
I did know about it. I didn't read it, but I know about it.
Is that a continuation? Like, what is that?
I can't remember. I think it's only 5 issues too.
Okay.
Now,
Manny, Hobgoblin Collector. Good evening, gents. Good evening. You as well, Empire. All right.
Kurt Russell for me
Go ahead.
felt like he was trying to channel John Wayne throughout this movie. Very over the top, and like
Why are
it
you
works in this
talking
movie.
like this? And I gotta get my own thing going on here.
The whole movie,
It was heavily encouraged.
it's fine.
It was heavily encouraged by the
works,
director.
But it was just like I've seen.
I'm just trying to get my truck back.
Yeah.
Sons, bitches gotta pay. What was that one? He has so many like one-liners in this.
He's really good.
Yeah, this movie is pretty wild. I don't know where to like really.
What about that guy that was like Raiden with like the lightning going around?
Yeah.
He's the inspiration for Raiden. He's
the
the inspiration for Raiden.
Those are my favorite
These
characters in this movie. They're amazing.
It's Lightning, Thunder, and who else?
Wind? I don't know.
Oh no, it's Thunder, Rain, and Lightning.
Yeah, like the martial arts are pretty good. I guess.
I
you know what I mean,
mean,
like
Mostly
For
pretty
what
good.
it
gets a little
is.
ridiculous at the end.
It has like it has that
Yeah.
perfect thing of like the last one, They Live. It's the perfect amount of campiness to make it work.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I
It's
think
not like
the art
over.
direction
It's just like the perfect drop. That
The art direction in this
thought-
whole movie's great.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the art director deserves accolades nonstop. That floating
Yeah.
eye thing was a whole ordeal for them.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it could have looked
Um,
really bad, but
oh, that like
I mean, it
that
looked cheesy,
floating
but it came
face,
off.
like
Yeah. It could have looked really bad, but it didn't. That was crazy.
No, they worked so hard.
Him
Yeah.
as an old man. Oh, it's creepy.
Mhm.
Lopan.
I
This
like
is like a
Lopan.
really old man. I was like, ooh, that is creepy right there. That was good makeup, all that stuff. Angel says one of my favorite 80s movies. You have horror, sci-fi, action, comedy, martial arts. It's awesome. It's a great
So,
film.
when we watched when we watched Flash Gordon, remember the villain was all about I'm just gonna take all these women that I want from Earth for myself. The plot of this movie is
It's very
I'm gonna
similar.
drink the blood of this woman so I can survive and become immortal, right?
Yeah.
When he realizes that there's two of them, I'm gonna drink Kim Cattrall's blood and
Yes.
keep this one for my pleasure.
Yes.
What the fuck?
I'll marry both of them.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. But then that meant that the girl didn't have to be Asian. She just had to have green eyes.
They just had- right, and
Well,
meet
right.
the criteria. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
remember
why I
that-
was wondering if Kim Cattrall's character was originally supposed to be Asian, but then they decided to go another route.
Well, they wanted a rocker chick. The studio told them pick a rocker chick to be this character, and he's like, "No, I want Kim Cattrall," and Kim Cattrall wants it. So, like, what are we doing?
Right.
Great choice.
No, Kim Cattrall. I think she's
this
proven
movie-
to us over the years she's a solid actress.
One of my favorite scenes in this movie is when they take the shot of whatever his potion that he makes. Remember they're about to go in the elevator. He's like, okay, we have to do the medicine first, and they have like this potion and all that.
It had
And
like
it's
this,
supposed to, like,
yeah.
make-
It has,
Yeah,
like,
and they're all in the
smoke coming up.
elevator and they're all smiling and looking at each other and all that. He's like, I feel good, like really confident. And then he looks around, looks at everybody, and goes, it's really hot in here.
This scene that you got it paused on was pretty funny too, where he's at the brothel and he's trying to fuck that woman from information, and she's like, "Take your tie off." He's like, "Oh yeah, you're right, it's my wife's." Yeah, that's she wants you to take it off.
Man, he says, dude, getting Majin Buu squared big and just exploding was pretty funny.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about the scene where the guy blows up like, ah!
Yeah, why was that happening? I didn't fully get
It's rage that his master has died, so like he can't contain the rage and explodes.
That's one of the few special effects that I think didn't work, because when he exploded, you see his parts fly into the hallway. They're clearly rubber. It should have just been like a bunch of guts and gross, but it's clearly just a bunch of rubber they threw in the hallway.
I mean, he's also a supernatural creature. Let's throw them some bonus points.
I thought these were forks on his hands.
Oh yes, when he's got them.
I was like, is that forks? Does he have forks on his hands?
How about when Egg Foo Young and Lo Pan are fighting, and Egg Foo Young's doing and Lo Pan's doing this, and he's like,
Yeah.
Oh, with like that spirit fight. Yeah, that was.
peasant magic.
Basically, like, and Jack, it's giving the impression that Jack's been on a lot of adventures, but then he has moments in the film where it doesn't look like he's had a lot of adventures, like he's kind of like making this up or something. Because remember, he goes to shoot the gun, and the guy looks at him like, "Is this the first time you've ever shot anybody?" He's like, "No, it's definitely not the first time." I was like,
There was like the next fight after that, like the time he fights all the guys, and he was like just like struggling to find his gun or his knife. And so he comes back, he's like all defeated.
The way he kills Lo Pan's pretty ridiculous too. Lo Pan throws a knife at him, he catches it, throws it right back. If you
What's he say? It's all in the reflex.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I also love too when they finally get his truck back and he backs out of the garage. The control turns to him and says, "Don't you know how to drive this thing?" And I'm like, "It's his truck.
Right.
Of course he knows how to drive it."
Nice little
It was
special
just-
effects. That's some good special effects in this movie. I thought Lo Pan was I thought he was more evil when he was the old man.
I don't
You know
know.
what I mean?
Thought he
Like,
was cool here.
he looks cool. I'm talking about he was more evil. Like, I was more afraid of him when he was the creepy old man with the
Like
old
the wheelchair
makeup.
or whatever.
Yeah. I was this one, like, he's just like funny. When he gets hit by the truck, remember?
Yeah,
You can tell it's like not a person, it's really like a dummy, like getting hit by the truck.
the whack-a-mole.
Yeah. I was like, come on.
By the way, the Boss Film Studios was in charge of the visual effects in this movie, and they're the same studio that was in charge of visual effects for Ghostbusters.
I can see that.
Now,
This was after or before Ghostbusters?
after, because Carpenter was upset. He felt that they were taking on too much work at the same time and not dedicating their focus to his movie. But the head of the studio is like, "Hey, this is like one of our favorite films that we ever worked on, other than Ghostbusters. Like, this was like our second favorite film."
Well, I was wondering, because you can tell that eye thing that we were talking about, they did a better job making it look real than they did with Slimer. Slimer kind of looks like it's on a green screen.
Yeah.
This you believe a little bit. I mean, you can still tell, but this is more believable.
Yeah, they had how many people did they have? They had multiple puppeteers and cable control, a cable control team to master control of that thing's facial expressions.
Okay.
I mean, like,
I believe
and the special effects budget was just under $2 million. So the head of that studio was like, "Look, we did everything we possibly could."
I mean, it lives on, like, because this movie will be watched forever, honestly.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
and you know what? It's not necessarily because of special effects. It's a good story. You know what I mean? The ones that are fun and a good story, they will always be watched. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this is the creepy. This is the creepy old guy. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
Phil was saying, it's the right amount of campiness because there's a couple spots you're like, that's ridiculous, but you play along with it because you've been playing along the whole time.
Yeah.
And the movie sets tone and expectation. So
Absolutely.
also that's how I'm more forgiving of certain films than others because like
There was one slight thing, and this is me being whatever. But you know how the part right before everything explodes, when they're finally in the truck and they're driving away. They're driving right at the cops, and he just yanks it and goes down this side road, and none of the cops go after them. You see everything exploding behind this truck, and you're not going to at least question these people? They clearly came out of that building.
Not in 1986, they didn't.
No, you question the guy who gives duck tours in Chinatown.
This was classic when he shoots the ceiling and it all falls down on him.
Yeah, that's another like he misses another like big chunk of the fight. Like,
oh, so good. Yeah, I like the final. He was awesome. Kim Cattrall is one of the great things about the mid '80s.
This is the part that I was like, all right, when they're fighting in the air like that.
But also, that was very. I mean, you know what I mean. Like that was very Chinese cinema too.
Oh, I know.
You know,
I know.
like
I'm just.
I guess extra credit because it's exactly what Angel said. There's all these themes tied together in this movie, and the movie doesn't disappoint. It really easily could by just not being able to live up to it wanting to be horror and comedy and sci-fi and magic and martial arts, but no, it actually manages to like hit all of its notes.
I get the feeling that he Burton's in Chinatown a lot because where else would you get that shirt? That just happens to work with the theme of the movie, much like Flash happened to get a lightning bolt shirt in space.
Yeah.
I mean, what should I expect? It's another Carpenter movie, then.
Like let's talk sequel. Could they do a sequel?
This could be a sequel. This could absolutely be a sequel.
Yeah,
I think so.
They would have liked to, but it did not perform well initially.
That's okay.
Well, I'm talking about a sequel now.
Yeah.
I think
well,
so.
they talked about doing one with the Rock in 2015.
I don't know.
I don't want a remake. I want a sequel.
No. They would have. It would have been a legacy film. Kurt Russell would have appeared to make it a follow-up movie, but that apparently fell through.
I can see this. I can see it still doing it though.
And there is a Boom Studio crossover series with Big Trouble in Little China and Escape from New York.
Oh, is that
Really?
right? That's a movie
that was
we
from
gotta watch,
2016.
That's what we should watch for next week. Escape from New York.
Continuing the Russell theme.
And that's another Carpenter too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's another Carpenter too.
Escape is the first one, right? And the LA one's the second one, right?
LA's 2, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you guys think? You want to do Escape from New York next week?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. We're gonna continue. That's Carpenter too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is written and directed.
All right, we continue
with music by John Carpenter.
All right. So that's Big Trouble in Little China. Cult classic, martial arts, sci-fi, action, comedy, whatever. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Get it on your digitals. It's classic. Exactly.
Magic.
Watch that movie. Magic, everything. Everything's in this movie. Everything is in this movie. And your homework counsel for next week is Escape from New York. Starring this very same actor and made by the same.